So yesterday I went out and bought some baby birds, and I need to actually make a cover for the tub that goes on top of the baby birds, so that way in a day or two they won't be able to jump out, because they're starting to feather out and they're starting to like flap their wings, and I'm afraid like they might jump out and, you know, disappear into the jungle. So I need to make a top for them, so that's what we're doing today. So these are our 56-inch pieces, and I'm gonna write that on there before I forget. Well, it's kind of hard to not one bigger than the other, but still, I actually don't know. Hey, I did pretty good with the chainsaw. 56. All right, so those are the 56 inches. And I don't know if these offcuts are actually the same size, like if the boards were the same size to begin with. They're not really the same size because of my cutting skills, but I'm off by maybe 1/8 of an inch or less. Okay, so I need at least a 33, and this is fine. This is actually 36, 37, 40 inches, which is kind of big. But that should be fine. Now this is a sturdy top, so now I just got to get the chicken wire and put it on top, and that'll just keep the birds from jumping out of their enclosure for now. So I went up to the house and got the chicken wire, a staple gun whose reliability is iffy to say the least, and some wire cutters. So let's do this. Okay, so I'm all finished. I got it all stapled up. So the only thing to do now is go put it on the chicks and see how it fits. And so it fits. So here are the baby chicks. I got 10 of them yesterday. They're all hens, red star hens, I was told, and they lay brown eggs. So we'll see if they truly are all hens. So today we're back up here at the extra house, and we're actually going to be using some of the scrap lumber that's underneath of it to build a chicken coop. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, so it's a new day. Yesterday the camera died and I got a little bit of work done on the chicken coop, so I want to show you what I've done. So over here we have the front part of the chicken coop. It is currently 3 feet tall by 4 feet long, just slightly over 4 feet, like 2 inches. But that gap that you guys see is where the front door will go, so I have to make the front door that will fit into that. But I've already screened up the side panels of the front. Next I'm going to go ahead and start to do the back part, and I'll show you guys when I get that done. So I just finished framing the back of the chicken coop, so let me go ahead and show you what that looks like. So now we're looking at the back of the chicken coop. So this big top hole right here is where the nest box will be, and then all this little area down below is going to be where the wire is. I actually need to put another support here and another support there, so that way I have something to attach the wire to, but it's looking good so far. Okay, so here we are after some work. I had to run to Home Depot to get more of these staples. So what I've been doing is I've been stapling these in and then going through with a little hammer and just making sure that they're flush and really good in there in the wood holding down that chicken wire. So as you guys can see around the edge here, around the bottom and the side, we have the chicken wire, and then there's this big hole, and this is where the nest box will be. But now I have the back of the chicken coop done and the front of the chicken coop done. So what I'm gonna do is move this back piece over to with that side over there, and I'm gonna start cutting out the pieces to attach the sides. So let me go ahead and do that now. So now I have the coop all squared up and rough framed together. Next thing I need to do is put some framing on these side bits. So that's what we're gonna go ahead and do. But as you guys can see, I have the back on. This is where, again, the nest box will be, and then the front door's on the other side. And then I just gotta frame in these sides so that way I can attach wire to it, and then we can start to put our roof on it. So here we are. I got it all boxed up and framed up on all sides with the wire. Now that all I have to do is start to construct the roof, build the front door and put it on its hinges and frame it, and then build the little nest box in the back. And once I'm done framing the roof, put the metal roof tile on, and then this should be ready to go to have chickens soon. So it's coming along together pretty fast. Pretty happy with it. I thought since it was nice and sunny out today, we could let the chicks try out the little coop. Since it's fenced in, I just got a little gate there so that way they can't get out, but they get to enjoy the freedom for the first time and get to try out their new little home, experience something new, just have a little bit of fun. So I'll put the camera in there so you guys can watch them if you want. So as you guys could tell, some time has passed from me building the chicken coop, or finishing the chicken coop I should really say, because the one on the right here that we're looking at is the one that I was showing you guys earlier in the video. And let's give you a little grand tour of what the finished product looks like. Hey, disabled duck. So on the inside we have 2 roost bars made out of guava branches. I figured the chickens might like that because naturally they like to roost on trees. And then on the side here, where you can see the wheel, there is a bolt and a nut that holds on the wheel, so I can put the wheels on and move it like a chicken tractor. But the main reason I never finished building this is because in the next part I was going to build a roof that would be like a triangle roof to allow the water to run off. But I actually kind of stopped here just because I kind of needed it right at the time. And it kind of turned out to be a lifesaver. Because if I'd gone ahead and done the roof like I wanted to, this thing would be very heavy, and it's already heavy to move. So I don't really like it because of that. Like I put too much wood on it because I needed it to be structurally sound, but it didn't really need that much supports that I gave it. It just added a lot of extra weight. And the nest box on the back is a lot heavier as well than I anticipated. So that's kind of why I just stopped at here. But I actually made another one, like a version 2. And you guys can see it here. This is what I call the duck house. And it actually has a much better tarp than the first one. And it's stapled on there really good, so it doesn't wiggle in the wind like the first one. I would say a downgrade for this one, but also an upgrade, is this metal wire. So on the bottom, the metal wire is much tighter holes than the chicken wire, and the gauge is much larger, so it's much stronger. The only downside is it doesn't really protect against mongoose, and that's kind of one of the predators that we have in Hawaii. I had a chicken killed inside this coop, and it's not because the chicken wire, the mongoose didn't break through the chicken wire. He actually went underneath the cage, like dug underneath of it, So in the low spots now, I have to put logs around it so that way nothing can go up and under to get into the nest. Chicken wire still seems like a good thing to use because it's lightweight. There aren't very strong predators here in Hawaii, like you don't have coyotes, but you do have wild dogs. And I did have a wild dog attack that also killed a couple of my birds, but in another wild dog attack I had, my birds were perfectly fine. Oh, pool party right there. And that's because the birds were inside the cage at the time, and the dogs didn't get into the cage, but they got inside this electric net fencing when it wasn't electric at the time. Because I was waiting on the electrifier to come that makes the net electric, and a dog bursted through the net and killed a couple of my birds. So that's kind of a learning lesson for me, that in Hawaii there are predators. It's wild dogs because people dump them, or mongoose because the government released the mongoose to deal with the rat population until they found out, wait a minute, mongoose don't eat rats because rats are awake during the night and mongoose are awake during the day. So they didn't really think that one out too much. So it kind of caused some problems for farmers. But other than that, the ducks and chickens, I should say, are doing really good. I do want to add to my flock. I have 9 chickens and 10 ducks. So this is my only silkie I have. I had 3 of them and 2 of them were killed in the dog attack. And this is my only silkie I have left. So it's easier to tell the difference between her and all the other chickens because she's white and she's a silkie. So I only named this one here, besides that, you know, the deformed duck, which his name's Deformed Duck. I know, you don't like that name. And then Penne. Penne is so sweet. Oh, Penne likes pets. Oh, yes, Penne. Oh, Penne is such a good chicken. I think Penne is like 2, 3, maybe 2 months old. Not very old at all. But this is a chicken that I mainly have just for as a pet chicken. Good chicken. A friend for my flock, I guess. But in the future, I think I'm going to have to get Penne his own or her own. I don't really know if it's a rooster or a female. But I'm going to have to get her own like little cage because I'm worried that the ducks might try to breed with Penne and hurt Penne because of it. Because the ducks are going to get very big. And Penne is just so small. Yes, you are. You're just such a little thing.